switch to my screen, and we're going to start with the first feature, which is search engines for Butler. If you press Control Shift P on Windows and Linux and Command Shift P for macOS, you're going to invoke the Butler, and if you start searching for something like, for example, styled components, if something is matched, you're not going to get the searches, but if something is not matched, you're going to get these searches. When something is not matched, little life hack you can use is just adding space, and then you're going to get the searches anyway. So we can search npm, Stack Overflow, GitHub, and Google. So I'm going to go search npm for style components, which is going to open our reference browser. I'm just going to dock it back and show you this again. Control Shift P. Let's search for layout styled components, which is going to open npm, which is going to open a tab right away, and we're going to get the npm search. So of course you can customize the search engines by going to settings, Butler, search engines, and we have our default ones which you can delete or customize, or you can add your own. So for example, I already added this one. I'm going to delete it and add it again for you. We're going to call it npm package, and what a search engine needs is basically just this thing to be in the search engine. So you can put this wherever you want, even if you're not doing a search. Maybe you want to navigate to an npm package or to a certain URL or whatever. You can choose a color for it. I'm going to choose pink. And now anytime I'm in Butler and I type something like Lodash and invoke the search, I'm going to go to search npm package, which is going to go straight to the Lodash package on npm. So you can you can add your own search engines, and you can add your own shortcuts that are going to help you perform searches quicker in the reference browser. So it can be either a search or it can be navigating straight to a URL. You can add as many engines as you want. Another addition that we added to Butler is if you have a bunch of projects in Sizzy, and if you constantly switch between projects, you know that it's annoying. For example, I would have to activate this project, React Academy Landing, and then I would have to click open in editor in order to open the project in editor. But usually you want to perform those two at once. You want to activate a project in Sizzy and open it in editor. So now we can do that. Control Shift P, landing, open in editor. So we have activate React Academy Landing and open it in editor. I'm just going to press enter, which is going to switch to the React Academy project, and it's going to open it in Visual Studio Code here. So that's pretty cool. And hopefully it's gonna save you a lot of time. Next up, we have using the reference browser, the to-dos and the notes and the bookmarks without a project. So until now, you had to have a project in order to use these icons and functionalities here. Now, even if your project is deactivated, like this project is deactivated, you're still able to use the bookmarks, the projects, the reference browser, the to-dos and the notes. So for users who have already used projects, you can count on these as like the global reference browser and the global to-dos. But for users who haven't used them, I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough. So bookmarks, you can bookmark any URL in your page. So you can say that this is the landing, and then you can go to another URL. Like, I don't know which URLs I have here, but you can bookmark a bunch of URLs, and when you switch, you can just switch through the URLs, and you can also use Butler in order to open the link to open the bookmarks. So if I click open bookmark landing, it's going to open the following bookmark, and that's the bookmarks feature. It's just pretty simple. Next up, I'm going to show you to-dos, which is just a way of managing to-dos within Sizzy. This is more useful when you use it in projects because the to-dos switch per project, but if you want, you can just use it for quickly jotting down some things that you need to finish, and you have options like showing the completed, hiding the completed, clear the completed, delete all of them, and so on. And then we have notes, which can be useful for for a couple of things actually, but mostly for two things. You can use them to quickly copy some text like lorem ipsum, and you can click copy to clipboard, or through the Butler you can just search for lorem ipsum. This is going to search all of your notes. You can press enter, and you're going to copy the clipboard. You're going to copy the note to clipboard, and you can also use it to protect some notes, like some passwords or whatever. Not really the use case, but you can if you want to. If something is not really, that doesn't need to be that secure, but you don't want to show it on stream or in a video recording, you can just lock your notes, and you can still copy it even though it's locked. And yeah, basically you can use the notes for quickly jotting down some things that you don't want to forget. And the last thing we have is reference browser, which, as I said, is very useful when you use it in combination with projects, because the tabs in this reference browser are going to change per project. So if I'm here and now I switch to Twizzle, for example, you're going to see that I'm going to get different tabs in the reference browser. I have this tab as pinned, this tab as pinned tab. And if I reset the browser, you're going to see that when I deactivate this Twizzle project here, and I open the reference browser again, I'm gonna have different tabs now. And if I switch back to Twizzle front end and I open the reference browser, I'm gonna have different tabs. So we had reference browser for a really long time, but only for active projects. Now you can use it without a project and you can explore it a little bit more. The tabs you're going to pin, like if you right click and pin, they're going to appear on the left side. So you can store this as a pin tab, which means you're going to have access to it from any project that you're in, even if you're not in a project. And these other tabs are just like normal tabs. And if you want to, you can just have some tabs that appear only in your when you're not in a project. So you can right click, save them as reference links. And now I'm going to have this load. As you see, it's a blue tab, which means I'm only going to have it here when I'm not in a project. So when I switch to Twizzle front end, I'm going to have completely different tabs. In the, you see, I have app repo and I have landing repo, but I don't have Lodash. And when I deactivate the project, I'm going to have different tabs in the reference browser. So as I was saying, reference browser was a feature that we had a long time ago. I would strongly advise you to explore it a bit more, because it can be really, really useful, especially if you combine it with projects and you save your repos, docs, links, and so on that you need for every project. And then as you switch projects, the reference browser is going to reflect what links and bookmarks you need for that project. All right. I think that's more or less it from the big functionalities that we added. No, that's not it. We have one more thing. So if you remember, in the previous release, we made this panel undockable and we made the reference browser undockable. So let me first do that. I'm going to undock this and I'm going to undock the reference browser, and I'm going to take them. I'm going to take the actual windows in Windows and I'm going to move them to these zones that I've set up. That's a Windows feature. That's not a Sizzy feature. And now I have these windows, but what I would want usually is to open this windows with Sizzy. So I'm going to go to settings, Windows, and now I can toggle to open this window on startup and to open the debugging panel on startup. So if I click save and if I close Sizzy, as soon as I reopen Sizzy, I'm going to get all of my windows in the positions that they're in. So this way you can move them to separate monitors and whatever. As soon as you launch Sizzy, these windows are going to launch and going to be in the same position. And then we have one more thing in settings, Windows. We can choose what do we want the icons to do. For example, when I click on the reference browser icon, do I want to toggle the window or do I want to focus it? So I'm going to show you what's going to happen when the functionality is toggle. I'm going to toggle it on, and then I'm going to toggle it off. So basically this is just closing and opening the window. And we have one more way. If I go to settings and Windows again, the second way is to focus the window. So this is useful if your window is on top of this reference browser window and you just want to focus it. You can click here and now it's going to just bring the window in focus. So yeah, you have more customizations. You can look at them in settings and Windows. And just looking through the changelog, if we have anything notable that I can tell you about, we added a little bit of space in the reference browser. So when you drag this, there's a bit of space on top of the tab, so you can drag anywhere instead of just searching for an empty space where you can drag. That's pretty useful. We fixed a bunch of crashes and bugs regarding this undocking, so hopefully the undocking will work fine. And yeah, you will let us know if you find any bugs. You can use sizzy.co/request, which is going to redirect you to our Fongarzione page, where you can submit this well, showing the reference browser. The reference browser doesn't work. That's nifty. Okay, it works now for some reason. You can go here, you can use this to report a bug that you found. We're gonna fix it and you're gonna get notified whenever we have fixed that bug. And I think that's it. On this channel, I'm planning to upload the update videos for Sizzy, just like this one, raw, unedited. I'm gonna go more in depth and I'm gonna talk more I'm gonna talk in detail about everything that we're doing in Sizzy, and I'm going to start uploading some in-depth tutorial videos about Sizzy features, because we're at a point we've been working on Sizzy for 2 years and we added way too many things. And I totally get if you are overwhelmed with everything that we have added and with the ways that you can use it. So I'm going to record more tutorials to help you how to use certain functionalities within Sizzy. That's it for this video. I will appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.